a game that was. Real Madrid 2, Bayern Munich 1. But I do have to say, Real Madrid were very lucky there. Yeah, I know they did have some good chances. They hit the post in the first half. Neuer made quite a few saves, especially that one where they hit the post and I think it was Rodrigo on the follow-up and Neuer made the really good save. Neuer was fantastic tonight. Despite that he will get criticised for the equaliser from Joselu, if it wasn't for him, then maybe Madrid might have scored before they did. But personally, I think Bayern will feel very hard done by because that goal at the end, to me, it looked like that it probably was harshly ruled out. I know the player that scored it, I don't know his name unfortunately, did look offside, but there was no need for the linesman to put his flag up so soon, because I think the player that was putting the cross into the box looked onside, so it was a strange one, really. But I think Bayern should have had a penalty in, I think, early-ish second half, something like that. When Ferland Mendy pushed Harry Kane, that should have been a penalty, but it didn't even go to VAR. The Real Madrid disallowed goal, personally, that's the correct call. And a lot of people will say it's because I hate Real Madrid. Because, yes, I do hate Real Madrid, but even like the biggest Real Madrid supporter can't say that goal that they got, that was the equaliser originally, the one that got ruled out, should have stood, because he puts his hands around Kimmich. Well, not around Kimmich, but on to Kimmich's face, and then he sort of like starts touching his throat, and then he pushes him over. So that was the right call, 100%. But Bayern were the better side for that second half. First half, it was fairly even. Maybe slightly Real Madrid were better, but I think for a lot of that second half, Bayern Munich was on top. Great goal by Alphonso Davies. But I don't get why Tuchel would take off Harry Kane and Musiala when they're 1-0 up. Any other manager wouldn't have done that. Well, maybe someone like Southgate would have, but like any like elite manager like Pep or Klopp or let's another elite manager, Ancelotti, Mourinho, any of those managers wouldn't have done that in that situation. And that's why Thomas Tuchel would be perfect for Man United. Because that's a Man United manager type of thing to do, especially ever since Alex Ferguson left. But personally, Real Madrid didn't deserve to win that whatsoever. Bayern should be in the final against Dortmund. But it's a Dortmund-Real Madrid final. Obviously, Madrid are going to be the clear favourites, but Dortmund have done what they've done to get to the final. They've knocked out Paris Saint-Germain. They've knocked out Atletico Madrid. Two teams that I think were favoured against them. So they were the underdogs in both of those games. So they won both of those ties against all the odds, really. But they're up against it massively for the final. This is their biggest test yet, Dortmund. I'm not saying that they can't win it, but Madrid are the clear favourites for the final. There's nothing that can really deny that, because they've got a way better squad than Dortmund, but maybe with Dortmund's spirit and maybe with the situation with Royce and him leaving at the end of the season, there's a possibility that they could win. And maybe it's just meant to be for Dortmund, because it could just be one of those ones where it was meant to be for Dortmund, because in the FA Cup final when we got beat by Wigan, maybe that year it was just meant to be for Wigan. So maybe in certain situations it's meant to be. And if it's meant to be for Dortmund, it'll be for Dortmund. I want them to win because they're probably one of my favourite clubs outside of City. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Madrid will win. Maybe fairly tight, like 2-0 or something, but I think they will win, to be fair. But I thought Vinicius Jr. was really good tonight. He had Kimmich on toast. And I know Kimmich isn't a natural right back. He can play there, but it's not his natural position. He's better in midfield, really. But Vinicius Jr. had him on toast tonight. Because every time he was coming up against Kimmich, Vinicius, he was getting past Kimmich like near enough all the time. And other than maybe once or twice, Kimmich didn't really do anything that made Vinicius end up not getting past him. But I still think after tonight that Neuer's the best goalkeeper of all time. Well, certainly of the modern generation anyway. Because despite his mistake tonight for the equaliser for Real Madrid, it doesn't change the fact that he was excellent other than that in tonight's game and across both legs. But I don't know what it is with Real Madrid. They always seem to get dominated in these types of games when it's like a semi-final or like a quarter-final. But they always seem to find a way to put the ball in the back of the net more than any of the other teams and get the job done. So I suppose fair play to Real Madrid. And if they win it again, then fair play. But they've been up against it in a lot of the victories they've had this season, and they've got over the line. And it was like that in the 21-22 season, where Courtois saved them a lot of times, and there was a lot of late winners or late equalisers to take it to extra time. But it is what it is. You've got to say fair play to Real Madrid, but I think they're very lucky to be in this final once again. Just like in 21-22. But if they win it, then fair play. But if they win it, I don't think one of their players should get the Ballon d'Or, because I don't think Bellingham's been particularly good in these two ties against Bayern, and I don't think he was particularly too good in the two games against City either. I've been more impressed in the last few games for Madrid in the Champions League with Vinicius and Rodrigo than I have with Bellingham. That's just my personal take. And I'm going to provide you with another controversial take. I think Florian Wirtz at Bayer Leverkusen, Phil Foden and Jamal Musiala are all better footballers than Jude Bellingham. You might not like that, but that's just my take. And if you don't like it, don't just put crap comments saying that I'm deluded and you've got no ball knowledge. Exactly tell me why you disagree with me instead of having a pop at me. Because as football fans, I think a lot of people have a pop at each other when they disagree with each other, but that doesn't actually help things in the situation. It just makes things get unnecessarily toxic, and that's what we don't want our beautiful sport in football to become as a fan base of any club, really. But what a game it was tonight. I did enjoy it as a neutral, and should be a good final between Real Madrid and Borussia Dortmund at Wembley on the 1st of June. And I might go down there and experience a day because I'm not too far from Wembley. I might go and see the Dortmund fans because I've always wanted to see the Dortmund fans in person, and I've never done that in my life. So I'm just very tired today. Sorry about the yawning, but it is what it is. See you in the next one.